up at the table, or you good there?
Yeah.
Start with John Libby zoning, and then also the revolving loan fund after that.
Okay, zoning, I'm sure we're mainly talking about up in East Richford. I went up there May 1st because that was her deadline. I took a couple of pictures. There has been improvement, but
I went up, there's a little bit gone.
yeah, there's been improvement. But
It just got relocated to a house.
Well,
up
today,
further.
there was a big load of trash in a truck there too.
well, there was a truck in the driveway that day
That day,
loaded
yeah.
too. I didn't get a picture of it, but it was
Yeah,
loaded.
but there's some
Yeah.
stuff missing.
Yeah.
I didn't make copies for everybody, but just if you want to pass this around and read it, that's just from the attorney.
And here's, I don't think you saw that, I gave one of those to Linda. This came from the attorney last week email.
Because they had a session, right? Or
Yeah,
a
telephone.
telephone session.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only problem with that is that it got relocated up higher on the hill to
Oh.
somebody else's house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll get a letter next then, won't they?
Just past,
When-
where
Past you?
Norman Honey's, just before me. The
Can I
two trailers that sit past.
Talk with you a little bit on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
so-
All filling in now.
I talked to John the other day, just shortly about it, but I know we kind of have a board for zoning, but John's the only one to enforce it, and it's like, one person can only do so much.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it makes sense to delegate someone from the select board to assist with some of it, or we find somebody else outside who's willing to come in and help. I mean, but I mean,
He's the zoning administrator. That's a paid position.
Yeah.
I get that, but
Yeah,
if he's
I
sitting
know.
in the office and doing, I mean, there's a lot of work just in
Oh, I
shuffling
know.
papers, and
I-
there's nobody to go out there and say, hey, you need to clean,
Yeah.
you know, you need to clean your place up, and then you go down the road to the next place and you say, come on, you need to do something.
You want
I mean,
that?
until we went up there,
Yeah.
You had no idea how bad.
well,
it
no,
was.
but they haven't done nothing in 2 years.
Yeah,
No.
I know.
We went up there and put a little pressure on them, and I mean, the yard looks a lot better than it did.
Yeah, some better, yeah. Also, I think the letter and did they have a phone conference or?
Yes, with the.
And they were
with the
told they're
court
gonna be
and the-
charged $100 a day.
Yeah. But I
Which
think,
does the trick sometimes.
on
too.
this-
You guys know what it looks like, right?
question number 5 from the attorney, what amount of fine would the town like?
Maximum.
And then if the fine expenses were secured by a mortgage, you know, and if she didn't pay it, the town could foreclose on the property. Because I think this, even if she has cleaned up some, it's probably
it's
only,
not
it's
anywhere
only a
near-
temporary
no.
situation.
Well, she says it's up the road.
It will fall right back into this,
Right, no, I just relocated to a friend's house.
yeah. So I don't think we should let this go.
What's
Oh,
the
no, no.
maximum fine? Is it 200 a day?
It's 200 a day from back last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the court probably wouldn't let,
Well, they wouldn't let us, but it wouldn't be worth,
No.
the
But
house
I-
would be worth less than the total
Fine.
fines.
but I think it would be
Oh, yeah, I
responsible
think
to
we
ask
should,
for a fine.
I agree,
To send a message to everybody else in the community that
yeah,
we've had enough of this.
right.
But how many more places besides this place is there where we could do the same thing?
This, last week
Oh,
I
there's a
sent
few.
out 4 or
About
5 other letters.
5 houses down on the opposite side of the road, coming back out of East Richford.
Well, they were
Oh, but-
moving, they were moving out the other day, I think.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that
They were
place-
evicted, I
All the Garbage
think.
and stuff, okay.
They were
It's
evicted,
just all the garbage all the way through.
Yeah.
yeah. They were,
I got a confirmation from Linda on that one, or not Linda, but
Yeah.
Kim, that,
We'll talk about that in a while.
you wanna talk about, oh yeah, you're on housing, so yeah, you're gonna talk about that. Yep.
And I think I've sent out 4 certified letters this last
This
couple
week?
days to properties right here in the village.
But would it help if there was someone else?
Well, anybody can file a complaint.
right.
Yeah, they could come in and tell me that, yes, there is.
I think pushing the lawyer is something you're agreeing with me too, you're on the zoning, yeah.
Yeah.
I think instead of giving them all these friendly warnings for 2 years, we need to give them the 1, maybe 2, and then get to the law.
But it costs a lot of money every time you call the lawyer and you say,
It does.
hey, we need,
I know.
and if you just had someone that could go there and say, hey, listen, you need to clean this up, or next step, it's gonna go in the lawyer's hands, you're gonna start getting fines, it'd be to your best interest to start cleaning your yard up.
Yeah.
And give them that much, instead of a letter in the mail, I think it
Well,
probably.
legally you have to.
Legally, you have to send a certified letter.
Yeah.
But the day after they get the letter, you can go
go
knock
visit,
on the
yeah.
door, right?
Well, they have 7 days to
Yeah, there's
clean
a
it
lot of
up.
laws.
Or they have 15 days to appeal my decision to the zoning board.
But what do you think a lot of them do when they open that letter up? Throw it in the
If they
garbage?
take
Probably.
it, a lot of people don't pick them up.
Sometimes, well, like these people never took it.
Right.
They
So-
never accepted the certified letter.
Right, but even if they don't accept it, don't they still only have 15 days from the time you send it?
Well, then you after so many days, probably a week or two, you send them just a regular copy of it,
Okay,
and then they'll go from that date.
Or I've
Then
had
they go
things
from that
hand
day, okay.
delivered by the sheriff too.
right, but
They
that
won't
costs
pick it up.
money.
I know, but when you get to a point and they
Right.
won't pick up their certified mail,
So like what
I
Andy
pay
was
him the
saying, though,
35 bucks
if
or
you do the
whatever it is.
15 days and then you wait and send the next letter out and you wait 15 days, then have a person go to their house from the town
Do we not? I think it would be beneficial
before,
if
and then forewarn the
Jacques came
lawyer.
and knocked on your door and said, hey.
we sending him? Okay, act for
That's
that.
But in all the stuff, you have to follow the steps.
Yeah, there's so many rules.
So many rules from the state, and you have to follow them to a T.
Or they can sue you and then we lose
Or
the
they
whole
throw
thing.
them out in court. Yeah.
Yeah,
This ain't our first rodeo, you know, with this.
that's why it's hard. Once
It's
it gets,
hard 'cause,
once it lets
yeah.
loose like that, it's hard to get it
All I'm
back.
saying is one
Yeah.
person can only send so many letters out.
Right.
Exactly, so if
And
we do the two with the
I don't care how many
follow-through-
letters you've been sending out, I can ride around town and probably find 30 places I
Yeah,
can
oh,
send
yeah.
another
No,
letter
I'm
to.
sure you could.
And
We try to do the worst ones first.
No, if you got any ideas, I certainly welcome them.
I think
I
the two
did, I
letters.
helped her.
Yeah.
If you want someone to help you, I think we should
Well,
talk about it.
maybe it should be
and-
somebody on the zoning board too.
Yeah.
Could go with you, more than one person, and just,
You can narrow your window a little by sending your certified letter and a proof of mailing at the same time for about 75 cents more. That's proof that it went in the mailbox.
that's what we, yeah, usually do.
But at the s-
I always
at
get
the
a
same
slip
time.
back.
At the same time, then you have 15 days
Then-
from that
Right.
point.
Yeah, then you have the 15-day
So you
time,
don't do a
not the
month
2
out.
weeks, the 2 weeks,
Yep,
the 2 weeks.
that makes sense, 15 days
And
later,
then
follow
get
through
that out of
with
the
the
way
person.
right off, because that's basically what we do. At least we know somebody got it.
Mhm.
Even if they refuse the first one, we know the piece of paper hit the mailbox.
Yep.
We don't care who opened it.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not even them that accepts it, but you got their name on it,
Yeah.
that they got it.
Because like this case, when I got it back last year, the post office had tried to deliver it 3 different times, and they wrote on it. they would re-
Non-deliverable, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I send it regular mail, because I figured then they'll open it.
So it's up to you guys if
Put it in
you
birthday
want to
card.
ask the lawyer to consider a fine on this.
Oh, yeah.
And if we have to,
Yeah,
you know, place a lien on the property.
that's what we told them when we went up there. I think we ought to follow through. Don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I just hate to see it stop at that one
Right.
house, because I think there's 30 more that
Oh, I'm sure there is.
need to do the same thing too, and
Mhm.
we're never gonna clean the town up if we don't start getting on it now.
And this is down behind the blocks on town property. There was a couch and a couple of tires last year. I asked for it to be cleaned up, and it never got cleaned up. And those tires,
Who owns the property?
the town does.
But who do you think is dumping the
I
tire?
don't
You
know.
don't know.
Now there's dozens of tires there. If you leave one,
They
it
go.
draws the magnet for the rest of them.
So you're
Somebody
saying
else
we need to go down and
clean that up.
talk to Scott?
Where's that, the town land down?
Right
Willow
behind the
Street?
box here.
But,
Yeah, on the riverbank?
No, it's right side of the road.
They do that because
it's-
it's right behind those apartments and they just dump.
I'm sure it's the beginning it came out of those apartments probably.
Yeah, and then people said, oh, I'll put our tires
Tires
here.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mess.
This is probably where the real trail's going.
Yeah. Okay, anything
You
else?
need any of those?
No.
Anything else you want on zoning?
I like the idea of speeding things up and getting somebody else involved and getting it taken care of faster. so we're not a year or two out.
Well, I mean, that took 2 years.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
that's just,
Well, a lot of it is court related.
Yeah.
I get that,
Yeah.
but if you went.
That's
and
too
you-
long, yeah.
You went and you said, I don't think it's illegal to go knock on someone's door and say, hey, come on, guys.
Clean it up.
Could you work on picking this up a
Yeah.
little bit, like, or the next step is, we're gonna send a letter to a lawyer.
Lose your house.
People don't want that, they
I
don't
know.
wanna deal with that headache.
Right.
I bet you 50% of the people would say, yeah, you're right, I need to get this picked up, cleaned up.
So,
Maybe
Right.
not, but.
I agree.
it's worth a try.
yep.
Doc, do you want to take on that task?
If I have to go with you, I can.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
I think it'd make a big difference.
Right.
Somebody that they know, that, I think a selectman would make a big difference.
Mhm.
I bet you John could give a list of probably 10 or 12 places that it wouldn't hurt, just go knock on their door and, I think your response would be better than you think.
Worth a try.
Yep. Okay.
Good with zoning?
Yeah.
Got more?
No, that other ones I've sent out for the letters, but we won't need to name the people right
No,
here.
not yet,
no,
not yet.
Revolving loan fund?
Yes. A short time ago, REACT members came and asked if we could look at their loan, and I gave a little short history of it, so people that weren't involved before would know. Back in June of 2012, REACT borrowed $20,000 from the loan fund to help purchase the land across the street, 111, 113 Main Street, where they have built the Missisquoi Overlook. And to date, they have paid $11,000 back on the principal and $54,8750 on the in interest at the rate of 5%. They asked if we couldn't do something to help them out. So the loan committee met, and at this time they still owe $9,000. So we said we would be willing, if you select board agrees, to waive the interest from this period on for 5 more years, and that they need to make a minimum annual payment of $900 per year, and whatever is not paid at the end of 5 years, the balloon payment will be due. All of it will be due. So they owe $9,000 right now with no interest. It would be $1,800 per year. And so we said if they're having a difficult time some years.
Wait a minute, what do you mean 1,800 a year? I thought it was 900 a year.
Well, they owe $9,000 by
Right.
5 years. It's $1,800 if they paid it each year annually.
Okay.
But we said they have to pay a minimum of $900 per year, and the balloon payment for anything that's left
So
at the
that's
end of it.
4,500 from, right, banker?
Yes.
From 9 is another 45, so.
Yeah. So if at the end
So
of
the
5.
balloon is 45 as
500.
well.
Well, no, it could be less if
If they paid more.
If they
Yeah,
paid
yeah,
more.
I get it,
Yeah.
okay. Well, can
It's
I-
up to you guys.
Well, my feeling about this is, this fund is not our money, it was a grant. Our purpose is to help businesses. That's why we loan it out. We've been stiffed a couple times, but they've been paying, and rather than have them go down, that, it's not costing us anything to do this. So I think we should do it.
And we've already made $5,487 off from them.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right, right. What was the interest rate?
5% on this
And we
original.
have given it for less too to people, so that, I would be happy with that, because it is that's for the purpose of it, and we
Yeah,
wanna
and
keep
it-
business flowing, and we're gonna get money back so we can loan it out again, so.
React is,
Darlene, do you want to say anything?
Thank you. You better wait a minute, darling. You better wait a minute. Any business we can help, or any,
yeah, well, to me though, you're helping a group that's trying to benefit
Right.
Richford.
It's trying to be a
It's not a
partnership, yeah.
it's not a personal
Right.
loan that someone
Right.
took to start a business with or something
No.
of that nature.
Yeah.
You're doing something to
And they've been good at paying it back. We've had some that we've had to, you waited and waited, and then finally they wanted to borrow money and they couldn't do it without us.
Well, what I said to the committee is we've kind of been trying to balance paying back the loan and continue to invest in what's there. So we've been trying to pay for what we need to pay for to keep the project going and at the same time pay back what we can.
We've already made money on it.
And I'll say from my own experience, from someone that's looking at those two buildings that were there for so many
Oh,
years,
yeah.
collapsing
It's
a street, it's a wonderful
It's a
to
big
see that
difference,
open and cleaned up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge
Nice.
benefit.
Yeah.
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 I thought
Okay.
you were gonna ask us to drop the interest that you've already paid and
I
apply it
did,
toward the loan.
but they didn't recommend that. so-
Oh.
That's
Okay.
good. I was
Can
thinking-
we make a motion and,
Somebody make it slowly, because I didn't write it all down.
I make a motion that, okay, he's got it, well, that the interest
Be waived.
be waived for the next 5 years on the REACT loan. What was it, 20,000?
Well, they owe 9,000 left.
Right, and they make it with a minimum annual payment of $900 per year and a balloon payment of the remaining principal due in June of 2024. And all you have to do is copy that last
just-
paragraph.
or
That's
just
all you
take
have to
that
do.
copy with you?
Yeah, that's my motion, the last paragraph.
Loan committee recommends that the interest be waived for the next 5 years with a minimum annual payment of $900 per year with a balloon payment of the remaining balance due in June 2024.
Correct.
That's your motion.
That's my motion.
Linda makes that motion.
You need a
Need
second.
somebody to second it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Darlene, you're welcome.
Okay, we're all set. Let somebody else have the hot seat.
Yep.
You can stay there, I don't think anybody else is coming up anyway.
Eric Collins?
Yeah, let me just finish that. Everyone's leaving the room, so. Well, might be easier than. I had hoped to be proactive and inform you people that besides being a sitting select board, you're also the Housing Board of Review. Isn't that wonderful? But it seems that we're going to be reactive. On April 27th, Mrs. Collins ordered 44 East Richford side vacated and secured.
The other Mrs. Collins,
The other Mrs. Collins.
to be clear,
Yeah.
Kim Collins.
The housing office can order a rental dwelling to be repaired, to be vacated and secured, or to be demolitioned. We do not use the word condemned. And the only place I ever knew to be demolition took an act of state, and that was,
It's very hard to demolish a building,
yeah,
Or
it's
to-
something that town.
or to
doesn't
condemn
usually-
it. It's very
Now,
hard.
condemn is not something
No,
that.
it's not something we can do.
It's not a word that we, even any in statute. So, normally these things don't happen. We've done very few of these. It usually takes 3 or more violations to actually empty a place. This place has 40 outstanding violations in 9 categories. I'm gonna leave this with you. She left you some,
I
a
already got
packet
my
of stuff.
copy.
You got
Yep.
this one as well?
Yep.
I'm still leaving it with you,
Okay.
because you're gonna need to make copies for the rest of your board, because this person's appealing. And when the person appeals the order, it stops the order. So Mrs. Collins has to stay the order. In this case, the tenant has already left the premise.
Is this East Richford? You can say.
You said the address, but I didn't quite catch it, or where it's
Um,
located.
44 East Richford Slide Road.
It's the pile of garbage you were making reference to.
Okay, the ones with the bags all up against the building.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they've been there since January of last year.
Okay.
That's part of the problem. But the three issues that
They didn't live there
led
then.
her to this is safety of a tenant. And the three issues that come to mind are electrical, structural. I'm gonna lose sight of one. I'll have to look on my list because.
Heating.
No, that's part of it, but that's not the biggie.
Really all the garbage, probably rats.
No, that would be
Oh,
my department, the health.
water and sewer.
Yeah.
And out of water and sewer lies outside of our privy, it's outside of the building, it's kind of a health officer thing. Linda wasn't available at the time.
Didn't know about it.
And we wrote an order to the Department of DEC,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't gotten back to us yet. So, because we don't know where the septic tank is, we don't know where the leach field is, but we do know that the well is within 100 feet of both. And the stream is within 40 feet of all of it. So,
Now let me ask you this, because I got this family out of their previous dwelling because of all of these things, and we shut that place down as far as renting to other people. So how come the house they moved into was able to be rented to them if all these things were wrong when they moved in?
all of these things weren't.
This all happened in a matter of a year, because I think we moved them in there, was it a year ago?
First off, I can't let you go any further
All right.
because you're heading into, the owner of this property is appealing. So he needs to appeal in front of this board within 30 days.
Okay.
You have to make those arrangements.
Well, we make,
Well, I'd say he'd have to contact us. wouldn't he?
right,
No, he has submitted a letter. Kim will be getting you a package. If you haven't already got a letter from him, okay, she'll be giving you a package.
Well, we got no letter. from
Um,
him.
so then this will have to be put off till our next meeting? We can't
You-
do anything for the next 2 weeks?
You will not be doing it in a select board meeting.
Okay.
It's a separate meeting
So we have to meet again to hear the appeal from him?
to hear the appeal from him,
Right.
to take his testimony, to take her
Right.
testimony, and to make your decision.
Right.
Somewhere in
We'll
all the
have to warn
reports,
that in
you'll have to warn
a
it.
certain number of days.
Yep. Somewhere between the time that the current tenant occupied the premise and now, the main beam of the house split, as did several of the floor joists from reconstruction of the building, and the building is sitting on its furnace. And you can't tell me that's a safe condition.
So these people are out,
These people are now out,
and no one can go in there,
and no one can go in there except the owner of the building and reconstruct it.
and he knows that?
And he knows that. And his property manager is Porky.
No. Well,
So-
I always have good luck with Porky.
Well, that's what we kind of, so, then we'll get the stuff together and.
Okay,
and
just
give it
have
to
her
you.
give me the stuff. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore.
Right.
We all know what it
We got
is,
it.
what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I need to contact him to set up a meeting.
you guys have to decide what's a good time for y'all and.
Well,
And then tell them when
Wouldn't
the
it
meeting
seem
is.
like he would have to contact
Yes,
us
and
and make the
we're-
meeting if
we
he's
need
the
a
one
letter
appealing
from
it?
him.
Yeah, and Kim has a copy of the
Okay,
letter. I
well-
don't know why. See, the form letter says contact the board and it gives the town hall address. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I sound curt, but you would think that would tell you enough, your town hall address. But, so he.
but he sent it to Kim,
He sent it to Kim.
so we should have a copy of it now. If you
Well-
want us to do this now.
I don't want you to do this now.
I mean, we can't set a meeting without having something in front of us to see what we're
Exactly,
doing.
but
Okay.
you wouldn't be setting it now anyway. You need to have the package, you need to have all the information.
Yeah, I don't have that. I only have the packet she give me that she submitted to him right from day one.
Right,
I don't have the next step. So
right,
I'll get with her on this week and talk to her.
yeah. Yeah, this wasn't to be a poof, here this is. This was to be,
Okay, well, I was
Here,
just
this
saying,
quad-
the longer we put it off, I just wanna make sure nobody goes in there, because I'm the health officer, so,
Okay,
it's
I'll
not
take
fit to
care of
live
it.
in.
We're good.
okay.
You good?
I'm good.
I'm good. Review and approve minutes from, 4 meetings.
Did I miss some? I didn't go to one. I don't have that. So is one the Richford Rail Trail extension, the 30th? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave you this short one, that was from the May 2nd. Do we have 4:15 and 4:25?
I got them all. I got the 4:30, I got the 4:25, I got the 4:15.
I don't have the 15.
Did we get all of those?
I got, we got 2 of them because we had the first meeting at 6 to talk about comp time, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Get
then,
that one.
we had the regular
Just let
meeting
me-
thereafter.
After, just let me glance.
And then this was our meeting from,
We have that one.
you got that one?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's what happened there.
yeah.
This is the one I have never seen, the second regular bi-monthly, what's the date on that?
May, 15th,
May 15th.
or March 15th.
Has
April
anybody,
15th.
have you seen that one?
No,
before?
this is my first one too.
They weren't here during that time.
That's right, you weren't here. Scott has it?
Maybe it's happening.
I don't know.
I was recorded Parks and Playgrounds.
Yeah, I'll just look at that one.
Do we have to approve, do we have to make 3 different motions?
No.
Because there was,
Just say all the dates. Well, he
Well,
can't vote on one.
he wasn't here for one and you weren't here for one.
Yeah, so yes, you do.
And Sherry wasn't here for one.
Yes, do 'em
And me and
separately.
Scott were here for all of them, so
Which one was
we
I
need to
not
do
here
everyone
for?
separately.
Right, you gotta do everyone separately. I can't vote on,
I don't
5-2.
believe you were here, Sherry, for the comp time
Nope, I was here.
meeting.
I was-
You were here?
Well,
The one you missed.
You missed one.
which one was that one?
That one you were here for the,
It was the night,
no, it was the other one,
Bethany.
Bethany.
The
Thank
30th.
you. Yeah,
Right here.
Bethany. You weren't there.
30th.
Yeah, you weren't there for that one.
okay, so let's start with
Oh, it's a
the,
special meeting.
the
okay.
5/2/19 meeting.
Yeah, that's the one I can't vote on.
I'll make a motion to accept it. That one's already, yep.
Is there a second?
I need a second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Put me down as abstain because I wasn't here.
Scott, I gave you my papers, didn't
Oh,
I?
I gave it to you. I got them.
Passed
April
it on.
30th, he
You
goes
passed it.
backwards to April 30th.
So we're still in this one.
You
Yeah.
wanna hold on mine?
I'm gonna go to the April 30th meeting.
Alright.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we accept the April 30th minutes.
And the next motion.
Regular meet, or special meeting, Rail
I'll
Trail.
second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who seconded it? You did?
Jock has to abstain.
No, John,
He
Not on
abstains.
30.
no, the 30th, I wasn't here for
I'll
the special
second
meeting.
it.
He'll still second it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, shoot.
Sherry
Well, it's
abstains.
confusing when you
abstain.
have 4 meetings in a 2-week
know.
period.
And,
Yeah, isn't it?
Sherry abstained.
Yeah. And then the 425, right? That's the next
I was
one.
a- I was a policeman, police.
Yeah,
That's the which one? The one up.
One was a police.
Police,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I was there, I'll second it.
Sherry.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Is there one more?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a regular one.
15.
15.
15 is,
That's the one you
4:15,
weren't
yeah,
on.
It's a regular,
Okay. Jock wasn't here.
but we need to vote.
Right. I'll make a motion to accept the April 15th minutes.
the
I'll
regular
second.
ones or the special ones?
Yeah, we have 2 sets for that night, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, someone never handed that one back, but yeah, there's 2 sets, we had a special meeting at 6 and then a regular meeting at 7.
We can put that one together for the same night, I think.
Yeah, if you're all.
Okay, we were all here,
Well, he wasn't.
except for Jock.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we accept the special meeting, the regular meeting of April 15th.
Okay.
No,
Linda
I did
makes
not
the
get that
motion.
one.
It's
I
no
get
big
one.
deal. I read it.
I'm
You're
like-
good. I don't need it back.
Who made the second?
Sherry?
Barry made the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Put down Jock
And
abstain.
Jock abstaining.
Yeah, then there'll be no question about it in a later time that both.
Got rid of that complicated mess.
Yep. Let's just have one meeting and 2 meetings a month.
Okay.
Okay.
Minutes.
Okay, highways, Jacques?
They've been fixing up the road some, they graded some, but they're gonna have to be done again after the next rain, I guess, because it's potholes again. But, then hopefully we can get started on the project we're supposed to be doing for the summer,
Hopefully.
right?
You guys doing a good job cleaning up too?
Yeah, it does look good.
Randy
Good.
did it.
They got the green up out of the way now, so,
Except for tires.
Yeah.
yeah, you still got,
Gotta figure out what we're gonna do with tires.
You didn't get as many of those you did last year, did you, with that sign up? You did?
Well, I got 100 or more.
Even with the
You don't
sign
get them
up?
with the garage.
No,
you get
they're
'em
around the
beside
roads,
road.
yeah, yeah.
People, I think, actually just set them on the side of the road because
Yeah.
they know.
No, they're gonna
green
do it,
update's coming
yeah,
up.
yeah, no, you're right.
On the Johnson Road,
That's what we should have done.
2 people cleaned both sides of the road, picked every bit of garbage up. They got done, and they were leaving, and they met a truck coming up there with a
With
load of
tires.
tires in the
Yeah.
back of it.
Oh, is that right?
By the time they turned around, the truck had already unloaded the 14 tires on the side of the
Did
road.
they get their
No.
license? Oh, man, I would love to report them for trash.
Between 105 and 105A.
Right
up
before
near
my
East
house.
Richford, where Kylie and Nick Dusso.
That turner, it
Off
goes
their
around
road.
like that, the loop.
Yeah, 14 tires, and then Scott picked them up at.
Then we had
8 o'clock
had
this
a
morning.
French door or whatever you wanna call
Oh, yeah.
it, somebody just put in South Richford, the dust was still on the door. It's been raining for a month. You know, they just put it up there so you pick it up on green.
Yeah.
hmm,
If you talk to the local farmers, you might be able to get rid of those tires for free.
We've done that before, some,
We've tried.
they're pretty saturated with tires right now.
Anything else, Jacques?
about it for now, I guess.
I got just a couple things for you. I have, remember way back when we priced that fuel?
Oh, yep.
That probably, before we refill up again, if you decide to change, that should be something that you wanna look into. The new truck, what's the status on that? Has that been ordered? Is it coming?
It's been ordered.
So that's good.
I've signed it.
It's all signed,
Yeah.
checked off the list.
November, they come in November.
Well, they're still waiting for the equipment to come in and they can jockey the position where the equipment's gonna get put on according to what they have for trucks that are breathing down their neck, I guess.
Mhm.
So there may be a window where they could do it. As soon as they can do it, they're gonna get on it.
As long as you talked about Green Up, I'll send a letter. Apparently, there are only 2 people working on Green Up Day. A lot of people volunteered and did their own, but I'll send Nancy and Debbie thank you notes from us.
Thank you. Couple other things. I don't know if you noticed, Jacques, but I know it's not a town sign, but when you're coming, you know where Fire Street is?
They must have hit that with a big truck.
They hit it with a big truck, but I don't know if we need to let somebody know from
Is that
the
a state
highway.
sign?
It's a state
Yeah,
sign.
we should.
But it looks really terrible, all spun
Well, I
around.
figured it had to be a truck because it was up so high.
So I don't know if Jacques can contact them in Enosburg at the highway garage and let them know that that sign has been smashed. And then also up in East Richford, the Canadian marker at the top of the hill, when they pushed the banks back, they must have hit it with the payloader and it broke the top off it. Darwin Tracy went down there with his little tractor and he picked it up and he put it back up on top. I don't know what the legality, I mean, I don't know if we have to replace that marker because it's broke or repair it, reconcrete it back on.
Oh, you mean one of the
The
cement?
pillars, the
Oh, it
concrete
got-
pillar
oh.
that's right at the top of the hill,
The
because you
first
actually,
one?
you drive into Canada
Yeah.
and then back in.
Oh, it's broken?
Yeah, the top, it must, when they push the banks back, you can't see it in
Is
there.
that next to the state road or is it town road?
Down road.
It's town road, it's, the East Richford Slide Road.
Do you think
Oh.
we should fix it? Because I've got Bianchi coming to do the gravestones, he could probably do that
Well,
too.
we broke it, I mean, for sure.
Is the piece there?
He picked it up with his tractor and he stood it, cause it's a base about
Yeah,
this
right,
big.
and then it's got a
And then it
point.
comes up to a
Right,
point
yeah.
like this,
So which part broke?
the whole point broke right off.
So where is it? Is it there?
He
Back
stood
and
it back
flat,
up and he
right?
put it in place,
I'll go
but
up
there's
with it.
nothing holding it.
Well,
You can
if you
wobble it
want me
like
to,
this.
Bianchi is coming, I'm sure if he fixes gravestones, he can fix that, obviously.
Yeah.
So have him do it.
We probably should at least adhere it back to
Yeah.
the base
I gotta
somehow.
I'll get a picture and send it to him, because he's coming soon to do that, and that's, okay. Fix and it's the one that's real
It's the
obvious
one in
that you
East
can see,
Richford,
yeah.
just past the cemetery,
Right,
at the top
right
of the
by
hill
your
on the
Aunt
right.
Sharon's house, yeah.
Before that, yeah.
Before,
Right at the
fix,
gravel pit.
okay, I'll take care of that.
Cause they picked all the garbage up all the way up that road.
Yeah.
And he noticed it was broke off and
Yeah.
stood it back up.
But as long as this guy's coming, we might as well do it. He works in
Yeah.
whatever, is it granite or is
I'd
it
say
cement?
it's
Yeah.
I think it's granite, yeah.
You want this back?
Nope, I'm passing the buck. I don't have anything else.
Well, I wanna
Good job.
thank the highway department for putting up the eagle the other day. If you haven't been down to the park, you need to go down and see the magnificent eagle that Brandon Wilson carved with a chainsaw, and the guys worked to help him erect it, and it's beautiful. We're gonna get some mulch around the bottom, and I'm hoping we can get a fence down the base of like a, what do you call that, split rail fence or something, just to keep it separate. But it's very, very magnificent, I think, and
Stunning.
stunning. It looks like a real eagle. I looked at the face of that in the picture and it was like creepy. It's real. It looks real. So,
Was that grant funded?
yeah, well,
Arts or?
I put a bunch of grants together. Everybody got what they gave me money for, and I said, yeah, arts and parks and, yeah.
It's really nice. And was the
Played around a little bit.
the idea to put it up on a hill like that?
No, that was,
Brandon's idea?
No, that was Virgil's idea. I was gonna put it right on the level in like central.
That makes all the difference in the world that
He
put it
called
up
me and
on.
he said, there's a big mound of nothing there. He says, why don't I try to work? I said, hey, you know about this stuff, and it was perfect. I mean,
Yeah, it
it's,
makes it look a lot more majestic.
yeah, and then he
out
got
there.
those big boulders and, yeah.
What keeps it away from the water every
High
game
water.
out?
Well, this is what he told me. He said the water and ice might,
High water won't hit it so quick.
right. And then they.
If high water hits it there, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble, yeah, we're all in trouble. But they bolted it right to the stone, the boulder, they bolted the eagle right there, so should stay, and I'm gonna look into getting a camera.
His hands.
I think the real eagle will probably think he's a friend. There is a real eagle that flies around there.
Okay, Sherry?
As far as buildings, there's not a lot. I'm trying to get hold of Joe Bro to do the brickwork here. We accepted before with the other board his quote for replacing the brick
Cheapest
and
one.
fixing everything. Quote came in a little bit lower and a little bit more stuff being done, so,
That's this summer.
yes. It's supposed to
She
be-
already budgeted it.
Yeah, it's already been budgeted and everything. And then for the clock tower, that's starting on, working on now, he's already bringing supplies up. And then once he's done with that, he's moving over to the library porch, so I'm hoping to have that done by midsummer.
What were we talking about having him do? Was it the roof at that meeting the other day, the roof at the sewer plant? Remember?
Yeah, he's looking at the
Not sewer, water.
post
water.
office, he's working
Oh,
on
he's
the
gonna
post
do it.
office roof, he's gonna fix the drains up there. It's actually, there's special sealing you're supposed to put between rubber roof and where the drains are. And they've been caulking it, and they've been doing a good job trying to keep it. What's happening is it's just splits with the heat and the cold and stuff. And he's actually cut that out, put a new piece of rubber in, seal it, and the drains will be fine. But a piece of one of the drains has come apart, so he's gonna look how far down that's, and then fix that. Even, there's other things going on with the post office, but we really need to take care of the roof.
Yeah.
Did we budget any money at all for any of these steps for this year, either the steps here or the steps at the post office, or is that maybe something for next year?
We
We
put a
didn't.
little bit of money in for trying to fix it, but not replacing them. That would be for next year if we need to replace them. But I did throw a little extra in just,
Because
For
they're in really
repair.
rough
There's
shape.
some,
Right, but-
over at the post office,
Yeah.
somebody might get hurt. I
They
saw you
need to
put
be, like,
cones in
pulled
there.
It
out.
looks
or even
crappy
fixed,
with the
but-
cones. I mean, I know we have to have them there, but
I
it
know.
doesn't look that professional, but you have to have them. I
I-
mean, someone's gonna trip and fall.
Camp Precast, I did put a call into them. I haven't heard anything back yet, so I'm gonna have to try calling again and seeing if we can get
Does
somebody come up here to do
Joe-
a quote.
Joe do anything with cement, or is it just brick? Joe Brown?
I haven't talked to him about the cement work. I talked to him about the brick and the cement work out here. He doesn't know how he's gonna actually make it look good on the floor out here,
Oh,
because the
okay.
salt just eats away at the cement.
Yeah.
But as far as the brickwork, he said he could do, the windowsills he can do,
I know.
those type of things.
So I
He can get
wondered
that
if maybe he
stuff,
could
but-
at least patch them,
Yeah, yeah, we can get that. I have a
as
little
long
bit
as
extra
he's
money in
here, if
there
we
for
get our
that.
hands on him to come, you know, and
Yep.
keep
It'd be
it.
nice, like, before the 4th of July when, you know,
I know,
there's a
I
lot
would
of
love to
people
have this place
in
fixed up.
town
I've been
and
trying to get hold of it.
going up and down those steps and
Uh-huh,
That's where all the action is too, on the post office.
yeah,
Jerry,
so working on it.
Alan, did the alarm system ever get fixed or get recertified?
What
For
alarm
here.
system?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You'll need to apply for a new construction permit before they get going too far in the tower.
Why
They're
is it
only-
new construction? He's just replacing the steps. They're not
No,
changing the
In the
footprint.
tower,
That's what I'm saying, the tower steps, they're just replacing the
they're
steps.
doing construction work in a space that is not often accessed. It's new construction work.
Hmm.
And the permit that you had is now more than 2 years old. So you need to get.
When I talked to that gentleman about that permit, and he said there really wasn't anything, that I called him and it was still, because we did a little bit and then it just kinda sat there, we did a little bit more, that I did not have to
is this
replace
a
it with
town
permit.
enforced grant or a state enforced grant?
State.
Yep,
And you
was gonna
have
say
guys who are going up in a bucket without their hats and
They
they're
don't work.
VOSHA controlled and
That's their fine, not ours.
Yeah.
They went up without their helmets.
cause last summer when I talked, last fall when I had talked to them, they said I did not have to file for a new permit. That is what he told me, cause he gave me all that paperwork, and I did call him, he said I did not, because we had started it,
Right.
but we hadn't completed it yet. And then when we
Fine.
complete it, to call them back. That's where that was left, but I
Nope,
will
it's
put a
all right.
phone, I will put another phone call in, because it has been another, what, 6
it's
months?
better to make the call
Yep.
and have William say, fine, than it is for
Yep,
someone to cruise down the street and say, ah.
the town's doing something wrong.
I can't imagine anybody. I wonder if they have a permit for fixing those.
Just call,
Do
They
not
need
give
something
them
else to
reason.
do if that's what they're
Yeah,
Do
doing.
not give them reason.
just call and check in, that's what I'll do.
There you go.
Original permit did not include stairs.
It was the clock tower.
Scott?
Water and sewer, we met with the engineering firm that was mapping all the water lines here last week, and they seem to be getting it tidied up pretty well, got it about done, I guess. Found where we're a little behind on a couple fire hydrants, but it's not necessarily just the fire hydrants, it's the lines going to the hydrants. There's one up on Short Street, only a 4-inch line going to it. It's a little it's rated, it's supposed to have 500 gallons a minute, and it's not up to par, but I guess it's not the end of the world. It's just something we gotta work towards improving. There was another one on the golf course road, kind of the same thing, it's just a 4-inch line running up there. The last one on the golf course road was a little below standard that we gotta try to improve here in the near future sometime. Daryl is working on ordering up all the pieces and parts for the Province Street leak that's hindered us for the last couple of years. We gotta change like 100 feet of pipe there. He's gotta put a insertion valve in. It's fairly expensive, but it's about the only way we can do it without shutting down half a town to fix the water. It's a little pricey for the valve, but he's thought of different options, and that's about the only way they've come up with trying to solve the solution, you know, make a solution to do it, so I guess we gotta bite the bullet and do it. That's supposed to be coming into the works here within the next couple weeks. Other than that, I guess I don't have much.
First of all, we need to appoint Greg Campbell to a 4-year term to the Conservation Commission. He's up for reappointment, it's a 4-year, let's do this, it's due in April, so. If you wanna do, we should do that tonight.
Sure.
No,
Reappointing.
yeah.
Somebody needs to make a motion.
Right.
I'll make a motion to appoint Greg for a
4-year term,
4-year term on the
Conservation.
Conservation Committee.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. As I told you, Bianchi's coming to estimate those 4 gravestones on the Troy Street Cemetery. I noticed one is a Revolutionary War one, so we really want to get that picked up. He'll be here this week. The cops, the sheriff called me. He wants to keep me in the loop. He said he did an eviction the other day, and you know, sometimes when people are evicted, crimes, they get angry and crimes happen, so he wanted to let me know that they had evicted some people up here and they're keeping an eye on it. So I thought that was nice that he got in touch like that. The school has to, a lawyer called me or sent me an email and sent one to the school. They have to warn the fact that they're gonna turn that playground back over to us. They have to do just like if we were selling property. So it's in their hands now to warn it and get it all, and then if nobody opposes it, I think, what is it, 45 days or 30 days, something like that, then we can go ahead with the quitclaim deed. I have been the ambulance and fire liaison pretty much past several years. Fire department, Andy called and said that their self-contained breathing units can't be certified, they're too old. They have a 15-year life. He said they work, but they won't certify them. And the cost, they have 10 packs and 30 bottles. And the cost to replace those is gonna run from one company, $71,000, to another company for $86,000. Things cost money. So, he says that we need to work toward replacing them, obviously, because they have to have them when they go in a building. It's the law. And apparently nobody's wanted to replace them one at a time. Well, I guess you can't. He said you have to do them in pairs because one guy's in, one guy's out, that kind of stuff, or 2 guys in, 2 guys out. He said right now we could get away with 6 with 12 bottles. That would be about $45,000. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything about it until I look in. I just heard this today. So I'm gonna see what's available, if there's any grants. I'm gonna call Sanders' office. I'm gonna do a few things before we panic too much. But I don't know what their budget's like either.
Didn't budget for that?
They didn't budget for that. I think they just found out
They
this week.
didn't realize that they were getting towards the end of
Well,
their life? or-
you got a new fire chief who
Mhm.
didn't realize that.
18 months in.
Fairly new, yeah, 15 months. And apparently they just had them checked, must be.
And NFPA just changed
That,
recently. The NFPA coding just changed.
Now, they were 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
okay,
They were-
and,
No,
okay,
no,
the
I'm
problem
saying-
is now.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem is now. So, and we're gonna have to do something about it. So even if we start with 2, he said they worked they used them the other day, and they do flow or whatever it's called. I don't know enough about it, but I'll see if there's any money available and see what we can do. You know, these things happen, so I'll keep you updated on it, pretty much. I don't have much more that I can think of. I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay. My turn. I don't have that much really. I already asked. Yeah, the fire and ambulance, I'm glad you were just talking about that. I just wanna know, so Scott, me, we're all new to the board.
Mhm.
who is in charge of fire and ambulance?
I have been for several years, the liaison, if you wanna call it that. That, guess that means you're in charge. When they have a problem, they usually come to me.
So parks, playgrounds, cemeteries, and that is your,
Well, you didn't sign it to anybody else. If somebody else wants to take it, just let me know. But
well, I'm just curious, cause with all this stuff that's going on with the ambulance, we're gonna need,
Well, we're gonna have to form a committee, I think, and there's a lot of stuff we can do here.
okay, I just,
But
I
well,
wanted
that's
to
why,
just-
when I was talking to someone the other day from Enosburg, they approached me because I've always been kind of, with that select board down there, we've talked different things about in the past, but I don't wanna get into it right now, but
okay,
I don't mind continuing if you want me to, but if you want me to stop, just let me know.
no, I just was curious who's supposed to be.
Well, usually the fire department called me, or I've been in touch, with Kathy, obviously, because I was on the board.
Okay, Facebook. I want to create a Facebook page for our select board. I know I.
Sure.
Well, I tried
You
to
locked
figure out
yourself
if
out
there
of your
was-
own tonight, no.
I tried to figure out a way, and I can't figure out a way to make it so people can't comment.
You
Right.
can't.
You
You're
can't,
gonna
but
get the comments.
you're gonna
You
get
have
the
to deal with the
comments.
comments.
And if we all keep saying, well, we're not gonna do it because people are gonna write bad comments, well, then you're never gonna change anything.
No, you know.
90% of the people now use Facebook. Like Eric told me tonight, well, go on the website, and that's kind of old school. Like most people
Right.
don't just log into a website and go through the website anymore. They go on Facebook and they get their info from there.
Okay.
And
The fire department has a Facebook.
the fire department has one. The school, the Northeast Supervisory
Advisory
Union has a really nice Facebook page, and people can put comments on there.
Okay.
The Enosburg Village trustees have one that I looked at last night. I just think it would be beneficial. We could include, somebody from, the ambulance and fire department, if they have something they want
Yeah.
put on there, let us know.
They have websites too, on our website. But it's
Yeah,
not a
the website,
Facebook,
but
yeah,
you don't have a
yeah, you're
Facebook
right, you're
page.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, we both do, the ambulance does too.
Has a
The fire-
Facebook page?
The fire does, I know, but yeah, the
Yeah.
ambulance too, that's nice.
I think we should have one, because there's a
Sure.
lot of stuff to make public,
yeah.
like this agenda. You could,
It's another way to get those minutes out there too.
you could put the minutes on there, you could you go through, log into the one for the Enosburg and go through all the stuff that they put on there. If the town guys have something going on, if they're working on a road, if they're replacing a culvert, when the winter parking ban starts, somebody gets on there a couple times a week and they update it. They put positive pictures on there, like the eagle down there. The day they
I
put
know, I
that
want
in,
that on.
we should have put some
I know.
pictures on Facebook and said, hey, go, it's positive stuff. You're gonna get 10 or 20 negative people. That doesn't matter what you do, they're always gonna write negative stuff, but if you revolve all your decisions around the negative people, you're never gonna make a positive change. That's my way of looking at it, and I'm willing
Sure.
to do it. That's why I had Melissa come tonight. I don't do Facebook, but I'm willing to have her
Oh.
help.
Can't wait
She will
till he
help me.
starts getting comments.
Well,
Just
I think
remember,
it's a great
those
idea.
people don't have the decency to say these things to your face. That's what we get.
But what are we doing that's so negative for them to write
Well,
negativity on there?
okay.
Oh, yeah.
But you know something,
So
it
be
should
it.
Behind you,
not be
Andy.
bad, the
So
fire
be it.
department one's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
So be it.
If somebody writes something negative on there,
Okay,
if we put a picture of the eagle that you put down there in the park on there,
yeah.
what would somebody write negative about that?
Well,
That's of any importance. If they
Well, it wouldn't be
write-
of any importance. When I put the
kind
playground
of the point.
when I put the playground equipment down there, they wrote it was my new welfare park. And that hurt me. Because I thought,
I'd
that was a
laugh.
terrible
If someone
comment.
wrote that comment under it, I would laugh at them. I
well,
would say,
I
if
didn't
you're
laugh and I
stupid
didn't
enough
answer, yeah.
to comment
Well,
and write that.
That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna
Then-
get in this big.
But
Well,
that's
you're
why we
stupid
just,
enough.
we don't need to actually even justify people that say anything bad with the people that say great things and positive things. We ask them to take great pictures and older pictures of Richford and some new pictures of Richford, just kind of compare.
I was looking at, I
Excellent
was
and new
reading
people.
through the Enosburg one
Yeah.
the other
Mhm.
night, and I went way back into the winter, and there was 20 comments of wow, the town guys are doing such a wonderful job, because
Yeah.
it showed a picture of one of the plow trucks.
Yep.
And it said, there was some things of, be cautious of the drivers, give them space, this and that. And then so people started commenting on there, and it was all positive comments, and there was one person that wrote, yep, Enosburg roads are the worst they've ever been in 30 years or something. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get that,
You're gonna
but
get
it doesn't stop them from
Were-
still doing it.
Are you talking about a separate Facebook, or are you talking about that Enosburg town, the one that,
I believe it's a trustees one.
okay, because we have one too that's Richford, that people, all our alumni write on and stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's
Enosburg has one too.
That's things to remember about
Right,
Richford or
right,
something
yeah.
like that.
That's
but,
usually positive.
Facebook's easy. If you want to upload a
Right.
picture on there for someone to see, like right now, if we, Eric's the only one that can put an agenda on
That's-
our website.
Mhm.
Well, not exactly, but okay.
But we could take a picture of this and download it
Well-
to Facebook in a second.
Yeah, you can scan
If
it.
Eric's the only one that can put an agenda on the websites, because he's the only one that has access to it, because it's not difficult.
Darlene can do it, she's done it before.
Yeah, Darlene can do it, anybody that's an accountant can do it, but
When Darlene was taking our minutes, she used to put our minutes on.
I think if you get people that are a problem, they're constantly just putting terrible stuff on there continuously, can't you block them?
I think you can block
Yeah.
some
You can
people.
block.
After a while, you kind of think.
Yeah.
And you can delete just one comment. If it's a really bad one, you can go and take that one comment out.
It's just somebody has to manage that, that's right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need an administrator that's gonna watch it all.
Yeah.
I'm nominating Melissa to do it.
I second that.
She has all her pride in Richford, and just like I do, and I think you're gonna get so much more positive out of having that. Times have changed. Every single, I say everybody, I don't have Facebook, but a lot of people.
And as for the.
Do you have Facebook?
Yes, I do.
Do you have Facebook? Do you have Facebook? You?
I do for the little shop we run.
4, 5, 6. Yes, you do.
Yep.
I don't, my wife.
You put together 7,
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I have
8,
6 friends.
9,
No.
No,
Kim,
10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14
Say at least
people, and
three-quarters,
10 of
if
them
not
have
more.
it.
But the biggest thing is the young people all have Facebook.
Yes, and I'm not.
Melissa
even
had
though I
something she
don't
wanted to
have
add.
Facebook, I would go to your Facebook page if it was public.
Right,
Because a lot of restaurants have Facebook pages, and when I.
get the menu, yeah.
And I, a lot of them don't have websites,
Right.
so I just go onto their Facebook page. You can at least get the hours, and, it
Yeah.
doesn't have as much information
Right.
usually as a website, but you can get enough.
lock it down.
Well, I was reading the website of a certain restaurant in the area, not in Richford, and I would have cried at the comments they made about it. I was like, oh my gosh, But Melissa wanted to mention something, but you didn't.
But going back to what Linda just led into with the commenting on pages, it's like you kind of just have to mentally filter out those things. Like if it is a negative comment, but it's kind of a constructive negative
Right.
comment, like you,
Then
okay,
you-
bring attention to that. But anything positive, it's really good. But if you don't feed into that negative, then it won't create more negativity.
Mhm.
It's just, you have to kind of let those fly by
Yeah.
and promote the positive. So I mean, like Andy said, anything's gonna be, there's gonna be negative comments no matter what you do or who you speak to,
Yeah,
or
you-
who
you-
you involve. There's always gonna be someone making a negative comment, but I feel like the positive comments will outweigh the negative, and it's gonna just change the atmosphere in Richford. I mean, it's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction.
And young people are all on Facebook.
Now they're on something
And-
else.
Snapchat.
But the thing is
Twitter.
that they're alone but that they're alone to promote being young people becoming involved
Well, I
in
mean,
community things and different
the
things
young
like
people are
that.
the next generation
Yeah,
of people
exactly.
in
We
this,
need to bring them in.
I know.
That's what we need.
Well, honestly, it seems like the people who would say a negative comment about Facebook are all people that are the next older generation.
Yep.
Because they don't really use it, I don't use it, but I know so many people do, that I feel it's a good way to just be open about anything. If it were something we want people to see, positive stuff, you know, like the day they tore that house down. We should have been down there taking some pictures of that, and that night, we should put that on the Facebook page, and people would have commented like, wow, that looks so much better.
Some people did.
Wow, the town guys are doing such a good job.
Yeah.
Some people did comment on that
Got
on
those pictures if
Facebook.
you want 'em. I know somebody that did it.
I know, but it wasn't
Exactly.
on the town page,
No, I know,
though.
I'm
It
just
wasn't
saying.
our
Okay.
own page.
We-
Like,
Sam McKenzie
Linda
was
and
super
Sherry
about
are the
that.
ones that were on the board that made that happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't, you know, just because somebody snapped a couple pictures of it.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah, it was.
I agree. Yeah, go ahead. I think it's great.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay?
It works.
Can I say something about your website though?
Yes.
Facebook, no. it's-
Facebook. We got a
I wanted
website.
to go back to the
Oh, the
website.
Oh, you trying to go back to the website?
And all I wanted to say about that is, I, even as a user, and I do the website for Notch, the website that you have is not user-friendly.
You're right, it certainly isn't.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning it up and it's.
I've
it's
looked
crap.
at it and it's like, it's,
It's not, I mean, there are
It's
much
not very
simpler
representable.
platforms to use where you just kind of drag and drop over there and cut and paste like you would on a
Feels
Word
repetitive
document.
and you put your data in one place and think that's the only place you update it and you find it outdated 3 other places. But we'll fix it.
Facebook's user friendly.
No, let's not fix it. The darn one we got now cost
Well,
us what, $1,200 a year or
We
something?
have to have one. It's,
Yeah, as a town, I
well,
think
we
you
have to have a
have-
website, so don't talk about getting rid of it, because we have to have it.
No, you.
Yeah, we definitely have to have it, and by having it, we have to post the minutes
We could
on it.
actually link it to our Facebook
You
page,
could, you can do that.
if people wanted to go.
Could we
go
get
Facebook.
one that's more user-friendly? You gotta
Yes.
pay.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
We'd have to
Well, it's
have it,
gonna-
we'd have to have it rebuilt.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have to have a website built.
And this was not a bad price when we got it, and
You
we
don't
had a
have a
worse one
webpage, don't
before
you?
that was really not user-friendly at all, or,
We got Darlene over there, who knows how to build web pages.
I know it.
I might volunteer
Okay,
on behalf of Rhea.
okay.
There we go.
Oh, come on, I answer the phone for you all the time. I haven't
There we go.
had one call yet. I will someday.
Okay.
So the last thing I got is the minutes. I don't need to make this decision, but we've been having a lot of meetings lately, and what's public knowledge, every meeting we pay $35 to have someone record our minutes. I know years ago the town clerk used to do it, is that correct? Or
Years ago.
or assistant
Years ago,
town
yeah.
clerk?
Years ago.
And then it went to the chairperson taking the notes, which
Yeah.
for
and
me,
then-
that's a little bit complicated. I don't wanna do it, but if I have an assistant chair, which is Linda, could she take the notes
They fired
during the
me.
meeting versus paying someone, I mean, no offense, Eric, but it's $100 and some a month that
I
we're
know.
paying for someone to do, you know.
Right.
I know it, and in the last,
Been a lot of them lately.
there have, I inundated. Let's see now. Take minutes, assistant housing officer, full-time lister, and I got 2 other jobs, I can't remember what they are. But, oh yeah, I'm going senile. No, I'm afraid.
That's not a job, that's a
You know,
recreational.
I know they asked you at one, I don't know if it's been a couple
Well,
years. or
Darlene did it
whatever
for a
to do
while,
it.
it's, you know, Laura used to do it. When I first got on the board, Laura,
As the
who
administrator.
worked for React and was the, yeah, she
It-
would come to the meetings and take the minutes.
She
I
worked
mean-
for REAC and for the town.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was working for
Mostly
both.
for
Is it
Most-
too much, like if you did our minutes for us, does it take away from your
Concentration?
your meeting, you know, like you're a select board member, I want you to be able to
Right. Well,
participate
I'm not-
in the meeting like
I'm not
that.
running the meeting anymore, which.
I
would
know
make
it frees up some of your time, but I just
Right.
don't want to take away from, I don't want to take away from your
Well,
thought process on the meeting to save the money, but if
Right.
you think, I'm just throwing it out
yeah,
there.
well,
We can go a little slower so you have time to think.
I don't, Jock just volunteered to take the minutes, I believe. I think that sounded like,
No, that's not what I said.
that's not why I got done, because I'm slow.
No. I said we can go a little slower, so you have time to take the minutes
Oh,
and
because
still
I'm
think.
and still talk, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Do we wanna just try it for a couple meetings, and if it doesn't work, I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
I would
I'm
think
not-
at least, even if you kept it for these meetings, that every time we have a special meeting, it's usually one topic that we don't need somebody from the outside to come in. It's usually if we have a special meeting, we're only talking about that one thing. It's not all this confusing, going around, so don't think we need an outside person for those at all, like our meeting with Bethany.
But what about like tonight's meeting? Would you take the minutes for tonight's
I don't know,
meeting?
Scott, what do you think?
To save the money?
I'm gonna leave it up to Scott.
Why is he leaving it up to me?
I think you know.
You were confused before. You had too much going on. You're running the meeting, you're taking minutes.
You've got the recordings for the.
Well, I'm not gonna sit and watch a
select ones.
recording, take minutes from it. That's not my way. I'm a writer. I like to
English
write,
major.
yeah.
Oh, I know.
She knows.
It takes, I mean,
You
none of
can't
us
do
are
it
gonna
from
go
that.
home and watch that.
And
We
take
just-
minutes.
we just
That's
sat
what the
through-
messenger
we just
does.
sat
They watch
through
it and then they
meeting
write
for
the
3 hours.
articles.
I'm not going home and watching it.
No, I know, me either. I don't know, I'm leaving it up to you guys. It's fine with me, I don't.
I would nominate Linda to do it.
I mean, you gotta make the decision, right?
I find it interesting the life came full circle.
Well, I
I'm not
mean-
one to say I told you so, but
Well, we had a problem before where they weren't getting put on the website in a timely manner, and they weren't getting recorded in the vault in a timely manner. When I came looking for minutes at one point, there was like 8 months that weren't in the vault.
oh, they're all in my office.
But also I will.
It's hard to put them in the vault because you have to go through a whole process of, that's what I don't wanna do. If you want me to take minutes, that's fine, but I'm not gonna do all that. Put them on the special archive paper and takes too, for me, it takes too much.
They're still not on the archive paper.
No,
They're in a
they
stack
have,
in
that's,
vault.
they're stacked.
Because that was never decided as to who was gonna pay to do that.
It's
No one
a
paid
hard,
me to do it, so it's still in a stack.
it's a hard thing to do. It takes a lot of time to, maybe you don't think so. I just
Why
don't
don't
wanna
we
do,
just update it and do it on a desk and just put it in the vault?
because we have to keep records in the vault.
Well, because there's a difference.
Yeah,
You
there's a
either
big difference.
record everything and archive everything,
Mhm.
or you take minutes.
Minutes are a little vague where a CD or a video shows you the whole meeting. I don't know, it's,
It's something you could choose to do.
Can we choose to do that? Because
I think
I think we have to have paper minutes,
We
yeah.
have to have written copies in the
Yeah.
vault
Yes, we do,
available to
and
the
that's the
public.
part that's, yeah. I would agree to take minutes, type them up, and send them to all of you. I'm not gonna post them in 25 places and get them online. I can do minutes the day after the meeting, but it's all the other clerical stuff that goes with it that's, to me, a pain in
But we only need to post the minutes to just at one place, right? Just out here.
No.
three places,
We still do those in,
and online.
Online,
well, I don't mind bringing them down
I
and
know you
doing them
don't.
in those. We do it at the bank, we do it at
Right.
the post office, and we do it here. We can put it on Facebook.
he has to sign a copy. and
Has to
go
sign
in
a
the vault.
copy.
So you hand off a copy to Alan, Alan signs it, and he's the one that puts it in the vault.
No,
I put it in the
He's-
vault.
He puts it.
That's what I mean.
yeah, he signs a copy of it.
And he takes his
That
copy to
copy.
the vault.
He puts in the vault. But
Yes.
Before he puts in the vault, you make a copy of the signed copy.
Right.
That's what you distribute.
Right.
Of the unapproved minutes,
Yes,
correct?
because you only got 5 days to get that.
Who puts them on the archive paper?
I
You?
do.
And I don't want you to think it's because I don't want you to come to the meeting, but
Oh, I'll
it's,
still be.
it's.
There goes that one.
To me, it's my, I mean, I think
You're
it's
frugal.
my job and our job
To
to
keep things.
do what we can do to
cost-
save money and
Yes.
that makes sense. I mean,
Right.
we're paying someone the same money that we get paid to come to the meeting and sit with us. If
More.
Linda doesn't
More.
mind doing it, yeah, probably more.
I will take the minutes and I'll give them to the board. That's all, though. All right? Know that now, if that's,
Okay.
No, I don't mind posting them for you.
Okay.
I'll go post them and, but I
It's the
don't
running
know
around
how to
posting.
put them on the website.
It's apparently easy. Darlene said it was not that hard to do, right?
Not if you have access, you need to
Right.
be able to.
They don't have to be on the website if they're posted in 3 places,
Yes, they
do they?
do. That if you have a
If you haven't
website,
maintained a website.
yeah, if you
so-
have a website, you have to put the minutes on it.
Snapshot, we'll put it on Facebook.
Mhm.
All right,
Then
then somebody
Do you
can
have-
teach me how to do that, I guess.
Eric can.
And are you,
You
you've
were
got a new
Darlene.
website.
I
since-
have administrator,
But it's a different, is it the same website that you had before when I was,
Yeah, we
when
haven't
I was
changed.
logging in?
We
yeah,
haven't
but as
changed.
far as I know, I'm the only one that has administrator.
See, we got a new website right before you, we had that old one we could never use, so we updated it. This is supposed to be a good one.
So give me a username and password and I'll put the minutes up.
Thank you.
No,
Well, that, but that's another whole step that we.
I don't mind doing it. I don't, I'm trying to liquidate having to, like, then I gotta get the minutes to Darlene, like, I
Right.
can do it. I just need someone to give me the access to the website to be,
need the
if you or Eric wanna show me how to do it, that would be great,
I
but
can show you.
if Eric has
I have
access to the
I have
website,
to get administrator.
I should have access to it. I can
Right.
put them on there. I
get
just-
your user ID.
I'm just creating more work for myself,
Yeah.
Sure.
but
Keep digging.
it's saving money.
By the way, I'm not taking minutes tonight, so keep going. I don't wanna,
I don't
Take
think
over
I
the
have
middle.
anything else. Maybe something will come out, but,
yeah.
police,
I told you they called about the eviction, there's really nothing.
okay,
I have an issue.
Well, I just wanna say that I called Roger yesterday, cause I had a couple calls about some stuff that I wanted to talk to him about, and I asked him if, and I know as he's not ignoring us, we gotta get this chain of, they're supposed to, on the 1st and the 15th, they're supposed to send me an updated copy of the report
Yeah.
for the, everything that they've done. And he said, oh yeah, I'll have somebody send it to you tomorrow, which was today, and I didn't get it all
I
day,
didn't get
so.
it either.
Well, I just gotta get after him about it and get them in the routine of doing it, and then every meeting I should have an updated copy of what happened.
But I will say, he called me today about that, it's a small thing, but he wanted to keep me in the loop, and when the windows were broken, the sheriff came to my house 3 times, he got the people, he got them cited, I mean, they're not ignoring us, they just.
And we've got all the windows fixed now.
I see
Yeah.
that, and we know who did it, and they're going to court, so. I
Some
think
of the
that's a
stuff
plus.
from the meeting that we had upstairs that night, it's starting to become like a lot, like, we can't just have a meeting every time we turn around for something.
You're waking up to this, thank you.
Well, I mean,
I'm
people,
so happy.
but people have their
Right,
spots for a reason.
Right.
Like, Scott's in charge of the water and sewer.
Exactly.
If he needs to make a decision, I trust that he's gonna make the right decision.
he was elected
If
to do that.
Jock has to make a decision over at the garage,
Right.
cause like there's a lot of stuff with this sheriff thing that we need to just do. Like, if we wanna make a committee with some people,
Sure.
like we talked about that
Right.
night, there's a lot of things that I have
Yeah.
a list this long. The things with the cameras, like, can we just do that and make
Well-
the right choices and do the right things without having to always come and have a
Yes,
meeting?
you can, and this is what, I tried to let you get your feet wet on this, that this is what we're elected to do. If there's a police issue, well, right now I'm police, but you too, whatever, 2 of us, but if there's something wrong with the roads, those are the people
Yeah.
you talk to. And then you come back and tell us, we don't need to go to every meeting, like the one Scott and I went to the other day. You didn't all need to come, he
No,
reported
but
on
the
it.
meetings that we've had, I think we needed to have them.
Some of them, yeah, but you can't have a meeting every time one person or 2 people complain about something. You need to deal with it, and if it becomes a problem.
Yeah, we haven't, but I mean,
Right, it
these
hasn't
crazy
been-
meetings we've been having have
Right.
been things that needed to get taken care of.
Yeah.
And we've just
Right.
about got them taken care of, between interviews,
Right, yeah, we've been busy.
comp time
Right,
issues,
we've had to do that.
this rail trail grant that's 20 years old that we need to get done.
Right.
Like, it's all stuff that probably should have been taken care of before, and now we're all having to take care of it at
Right.
once.
Right,
But just in the future,
right. That's
like-
what, each one of us has got a job, we need to do it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure that we are
Yes.
all on that same
And
page.
then come back
If-
to the board and say, now, what do you wanna do about this? This is what, this,
Yeah.
we have to trust each other enough to know that we're not
Yeah.
making something up, or.
Yeah. Or go see, like, we all have an assistant, like, you
Right.
come see me or I go see her, like, if,
Mhm.
between the two of us, we should be able to make
Well,
a
we do
decision.
pretty well, we do pretty well. 'cause
Yeah, we should be able to make a
Right.
decision on our own.
Exactly.
If
Unless it's a
Jacques needs
big,
to make a
huge-
decision on something, well, if he wanted to come see me, just come
There you
see
go.
me and
Right.
say, well, what do you think, Andy? Do you think this is a good idea? And then, yeah, do it.
That's exactly what we
You
should
got
be
elected to
doing.
take care of the highways, do it.
Yeah, I agree. Not
So-
to change the subject, but weren't we gonna talk about a purchase policy tonight? Because that's part of all of this, talking to each other.
We were, and I have that on my desk.
Okay, then we'll do it next time.
No, we can do it. We got other business, or
Well,
we got other
it
business.
depends how
So
quickly you want the,
can someone recognize the guest for me and you got something
I have
about the
something
sheriff?
about policing.
Yep.
Not this past Saturday night, the Saturday night before, this alarm off my store went off. What happened was somebody left, set the alarm, then forgot their pocketbook, so tried to run back in quickly, and then walked back out, locked the door, and left. Well, the burglary alarm went off. I got phone calls, I was at dinner, my assistant got phone calls, she was at a dinner. They ended up calling the police, the sheriff. When I came out of the meeting, I saw I had a phone call, I went down, and the sheriff's 25 minutes later, this is at 9:30 at night, still had not responded to the store. Where are they at 9:30 on a Saturday night?
what we need to do is have.
When it takes 25 minutes to get to Pinnacle Peddler.
We
here
have
in
to have the
Richford.
list of who's on duty.
Yeah, I haven't.
I
was
will
a
talk
little
to Roger
upset.
tomorrow.
I
Because
have
I
nothing
actually
from
called
them.
back
I'll call
the
him.
security alarm system, and they still hadn't heard from them. And then I had a chance, I went to the store.
What night was that?
That was
What
last
night?
Saturday night, not the Saturday night, the next Saturday night before, the night of the banquet, the crossing. I went down there, I walked the whole store myself, checked every door inside and out, in the basement, everywhere, to make sure nothing was going on. My husband stayed in the car outside,
25th.
because I didn't want him to come in, and you got cameras
Our
everywhere.
next meeting?
So I was not a happy camper. And then I left there, drove home, called them back, and they still hadn't heard from the sheriff's department. I'm like, really? So my big boss, though, because apparently the security department didn't get hold of him to tell him I had showed up, he came from Essex to check out the store. Do you
So-
think he was happy?
All right, so.
I don't think that I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been pretty good to me and you.
Yeah.
I wanna give him but
I'd like to know who was on duty and if there was an
Well, they need
emergency
to
going on
start
at that
having
Well,
time.
they
a little
have, they
better
used to
contact
always
with
give
us.
us a list of who's on duty.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he's new, so, but I will call him tomorrow, and you say it's like the 27th, Saturday, April 27th.
Yeah, it was the night of the Lions Club banquet.
No, it would have been before that.
Give me a date.
The 22nd?
27th was a Saturday.
Yep. It was April 22nd. Yep.
April 27th.
Yeah, last
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah, last Saturday,
And I
not this
will
past
ask him
Saturday.
to send us at the beginning of the month, because they always did a list of
Oh,
who's
no,
on
it
duty.
would have been the
every night.
25th, wouldn't it have?
Go
No,
back
you're looking
to-
at May.
Go back to.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at
You gotta go back to
Little
April.
calendar.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
My eyes aren't that good.
that's what Sarah said. So, all right, I'll give him a call in the morning.
Yeah.
And,
What
talk
time do
about
they
the
usually get
updated-
off shift?
Not till 2:30 in the morning.
I'm not sure exactly. It's different every day.
Well, I'm assuming 9:30 on Saturday
well,
night.
9:30
should
they
be
were
here.
on, they were on.
They were definitely here
But he may
9:30
have
Saturday.
been,
In an
we'll find
emergency
out, we'll
someplace,
find out.
that's what I'd like
We'll
to
find
know.
out.
I'm just curious, because we had another security issue down at the building at People's Plaza, and the state police ended up having to come all the way down through
Yeah.
for two different calls. One at 12:30 and one at 2:30. And another one at 3:30, but they cleared that one. Because the sheriffs did not show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab that personnel policy.
You wanna do that?
If-
Okay.
It's up to you, I
Recognize-
just thought,
Get done.
I thought we were gonna talk about it, and I
Yep.
Does anyone have anything they wanna talk about?
No.
Okay.
Joey?
Joey does.
Joey's talking, I'm gonna go find that, because we should talk about that tonight.
Do you wanna wait till he comes back, Joey, or you
No,
wanna?
it's just for Sherry.
Oh, okay.
Station,
Yeah.
you're gonna want to get overhead door company or whoever we use for the doors coming in. We actually are having rollers come apart on the ambulance side. for the
Okay.
overhead doors.
Did that just start?
We found some parts of them on the floor the other day, last week when me and Timmy came back from an ambulance call.
I'll have Champlain doors come.
whoever does them. I mean, I don't know when the last time they were maintained, but they'd been squeaking for a while, and in the meantime, you notice parts from one of the rollers on the floor.
Okay.
So, instead of one of them falling on the truck or somebody.
It ain't very hard to spray them with, some spray can. You know, you don't need to call,
No,
door
the
company
part-
every time the door squeaks.
No, but they're coming
The
up.
parts are coming apart.
They're falling
The doors were
apart,
looking
John.
pretty rough before, yeah.
But if they're sprayed off enough, they'd
Yeah.
hold together
It does
longer.
Maintain. But the problem is we don't have a maintenance person that goes around and does all that stuff to all the doors and stuff, and we really should. To be honest, we really should have somebody that goes around, a handy person that goes around and takes care of all these little things like that.
Yeah.
Another job for Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Color hat.
Yeah, we clean our
Color
truck-
hat,
truck
do I wear
service
for
and
that
we
one?
calls and we- correct, we don't need-
Red if it's
Right,
the fire
you don't have a
department.
lot of
It's
time
another
for all
job
that
for
stuff, but we
his
need to
new-
get
his new
something
help,
allocated
yeah.
for that
Keep
type
them
of
busy.
thing. And that's a good idea to have somebody designated for different things like that. Yeah.
Anyone else? Buy 3 minutes and no one wants them.
Nothing's free.
Only if I get paid.
So, other business, I'm just gonna touch base. Alan, as you all know, we had talked about updating the personnel policy and also creating a purchase policy. I've read through the personnel policy. We made changes on comp time,
The anniversary date.
anniversary date.
Or using January 1st instead of
Vacation time.
anniversary date. We added Martin Luther King's Day as a paid holiday.
The use of vacation time too, wasn't that something we changed around? And when they could get it?
Yeah, we let them have it
The
earlier.
first week, right, and then they had to
First
have
year.
it done. Yeah, the first year and then for their first week's vacation.
But not till November, wasn't it?
Exactly.
The
They
only
had to be
thing
here
I
at least 90
didn't
days.
put in here was Scott had wanted some type of generic harassment policy, but in looking through all the stuff I had, I couldn't find any generic language. Anything I found, you had to define what the harassment was you were prohibiting. I couldn't find anything generic, because if you're gonna prohibit something, you
You
gotta
have to know
tell
what you're,
people,
yeah.
what they can't do. And I couldn't find any generic,
I know, I looked too. It's
And I-
mostly sexual harassment.
maybe it
Yeah,
exists,
that's
but
all
I
it
couldn't find
basically
it.
is.
I'm sure there's ageism and
Age, sex.
sex,
sexual
religion, yeah, there's all
orientation,
kinds of
religion,
stuff. We can always put an addendum on if we can find a good one. Did we call VLCT here? Their policy doesn't have
yeah.
it.
Well, I looked at all their
Policies,
policies.
yeah.
Okay. And Linda, you said you had an issue with the purchase policy?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the amount. Go down to where it says, over $1,000, you need to.
Any purchase with a value over 1,000 will require prior select board approval. The approval must be adopted and documented with a copy of select board minutes prior to payment.
Okay, I'm fine with that, except, and I'm probably the only one that would affect, when I get a grant to do something, let's say put an eagle in, and I'm gonna pay for it, it's, I don't know how to say this, none of your business. I mean, it's like, if I got a grant for a swing set, and that grant says that that money's going to swing set, why should I come and ask you? You've already approved the fact that I'm able to get grants. And I've got to come to you every time. I mean, I buy flowers, I do things, in small or $1,000, $2,000 purchases.
But you're a select board member, so you already,
I thought it applied to all of us.
well, it says, any purchase with a value over $1,000 will require prior select board approval.
Yeah, that's all of us. So if you're going to buy something for the water and sewer department that,
But if you get granted, if you
Well, that's
get
what I'm saying,
awarded
a
a grant,
grant.
you're already awarded that, we already know it's gonna be spent on that stuff.
well, that's why I have a problem with it, because if I don't want you telling me, well, no, we don't think it's a good idea to have that eagle in the park, and I've already gotten a grant for it. And,
Right, no, I
and
think
then I gotta
that's-
give the money back after, I mean, it's like,
I think that's more for like equipment and. like,
Well, it is, but
different things
I'm-
like that, but if
but-
you already awarded a grant to do the parks.
That's what I say.
That's also be just, that's already spent, and we already know it's always spent that way.
Well,
So
do
there's
you,
no-
or is somebody gonna all of a sudden say, well, I think that's a stupid idea? I mean, before I put playground equipment in, I said to the person in charge of parks, can I put playground equipment in? And he said, yeah, but this is over $1,000. It's a lot of times that my grant money has been, like I'm gonna put that kayak and canoe thing in. You guys weren't on the board when I put that through. Everybody else said okay, but what you say, I don't think it's a good idea for you to spend that money, and they've already given it to me. That's what I'm just saying, that I don't think grant money,
Grant money should be allowed,
Shouldn't
right,
be-
that's separate, you already were awarded that, we've
Right.
already approved all that
well,
grant money.
that's,
Grant
the
money
only
shouldn't be
thing I
allowed.
had was an issue with that I can't spend my money the way my money I got, it's our money, but,
Right, it's meant for certain things,
When
and it
they
should be allowed to
designate
go
it-
to those certain things.
yeah, when they designate it for something, if I don't spend it on that, then I'm gonna go to jail.
$1,000 really isn't much. I can't order 4 truck tires
I
over
know.
at the garage.
I know, I don't think that's what I say. But we had decided that, like,
Who wanted the purchase policy?
well,
I
We
think,
talked about doing that when we did the personnel policy.
yeah,
yeah,
and
And I
from
just,
the
I put
troubles
this
we've
together
had.
because I thought you guys wanted one.
with
I
that.
think we wanted a purchase policy
Well,
because we didn't
the
want certain
outcome
things
of-
happening from what happened from before, happening again.
For example, if Scott buys something, he's supposed to have a second signature on it. That's the rule we made before.
Like whoever's set up to be your backup when you're not around would be the
Right.
one that would sign things.
But if I'm buying something for a grant,
That
I'm
needs
not
to be
running.
clarified too.
Right.
Is it 2 signatures at the town garage, or is it my signature
And
and
that
then
one,
a
or
selectman's
yeah,
signature?
yeah.
It's not
Right.
clarified, that's
Right.
what it is.
That's what I mean, it's not, and I just don't wanna run into somebody telling me I can't do that because they think it's ugly or something, and I'm like, well, that's what I made the grant for, and this, my latest one is this kayak canoe thing. And I'm gonna be spending more than $1,000. at a
Well, I
time.
just think every now and then, as times arise, you're gonna have to spend more than $1,000
Yeah.
without asking.
Okay, so let's
don't know.
Let's think about that.
let's make a copy of this for everybody to bring home.
I got one,
Make some notes on it. Next meeting,
vote on it,
we'll try to like
work it out.
work it out, and then be nice just to get it somehow voted that night. But I don't know if
Yeah.
we'll be able to.
Oh, I think
We
we
brought
can.
it home,
Yeah,
what, a
before.
couple weeks ago.
Not the purchase.
That's when I
policy.
read, that's when I read it and said, I got
I got
it,
it in my phone.
it's in my car, and I said, oh, wait a minute, $1,000, are they gonna, I mean, you're a new board, I don't know what you're gonna do. These things that I got grants for before you're on the board. So-
Right, but they're already pre-designated
Well, I
for
know,
that
that's what I'm
area, so
saying.
We
I
can
don't
write
think that
that
would
in a
fall.
way.
I'm just wondering, what
Yeah.
is, you wanna just raise it from $1,000 up to a higher number?
I don't know, I spent 60,000 on the
Plus, yeah,
equipment.
Or
So I'm thinking
can
if-
you
Didn't go
word
through
it
the
so
town-
that
didn't
if
go
it's,
through the
if it's
town.
money being used through a grant,
figure it out.
it
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
it doesn't
Grant
need
ex-
to
I'll figure it out.
excluded or something,
grant-
grant money excluded
grant money
or something.
excluded or something
Something
along
simple
those
Well,
lines.
even your
like that.
budget money, Sherry, I mean, you're gonna spend 20-something $1,000 to point the building, but it's in your budget, so it
Right.
shouldn't matter.
But
if
my
you
budget
spend it.
already
Can
got
select
approved.
board members be exempt from it?
But
That
my-
was. I
But
don't
see, the
know.
thing is my budget was already approved, so that was already select board
Right,
approved.
right,
so-
you were already approved.
So that's what I
Yeah.
mean, your grant, because it's grant money, it's already approved.
Yeah.
You've already
And
come and
sometime
told
I
us we got
leave it
grant
That's
for
there.
this,
no
I'm doing
different than
that.
me buying truck tires or
Right,
a
exactly.
transmission, it's
Right.
approved in the budget.
It's still approved in the
Right.
budget,
Right.
so I think you just
Well,
need to somehow
Word it differently.
word it so that if a select board member is the one spending the money, then you don't need the approval from the select board.
I wouldn't think so, but I
You
just
know,
wanted to make that clear.
That policy is for employees.
Please.
That's what I thought.
I mean, that's
Well,
what
does
it's
it say
for.
that?
Well,
It's not clear, that's all, I just wanna make it
It's not
clear.
100%
I
clear,
just wanna
but
make it clear that it's not
I
your
don't think
concern
Alan
what I
has to
spend my
change
money
very
on.
much on there to make it.
Yeah, this is kind of an overall thing.
Yeah,
Okay, how about the personnel policy? I've read through it.
I had one correction on that, yeah.
Okay,
On section 2, it says persons covered. Down below, it says exempt. It has seasonal employees that are exempt. I don't think seasonal employees ought to be exempt
exempt from what?
from the personnel policy.
Oh, no, no. They shouldn't, they should have to go by the same
Where does it say that?
In section 2, persons covered, the personnel policy applies to full-time and part-time employees of the town of Richford, except as stated within. And it's got seasonal employees are
Wasn't that
exempt from
part-time
it, which
usually?
I don't think seasonal employees ought to be exempt from.
What do we
That's the only
have?
correction I
What do we
see.
have for seasonal? Just the guy that shovels the snow or something?
Yeah,
You add
Jeffrey-
on somebody in the
Jeffrey.
winter, but they're still getting benefits sometime, and they're still under our
Sometimes, yeah.
rules, so shouldn't they
Have in the
adhere to?
past.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I picked apart on it.
Just take that word out of there, season, put it up, put seasonal up with the others,
Or just get rid of
or
it.
get rid of it, yeah.
You know, it's got volunteers.
Well, they don't need to probably, just go by our rules.
So if you do that, one of your drivers shows up drunk, you wanna stop him from driving, policy doesn't apply to him. Do you have the authority to?
Where are you saying the positive, it wouldn't?
Well, I'm
He's just giving you an example.
Just
Oh.
an example.
Oh, now.
I mean, if the
way-
policy doesn't apply to seasonal employees, then
But seasonal
what is gonna
employees,
govern?
That's the way you've got it now, it doesn't cover seasonal
He
employees.
says it should.
The way it's written now.
but seasonal employees still have to have the drug and alcohol tests. Their names go on the list if they're just
Says
working.
the personnel policy applies to full-time and part-time employees of the town of Richford, except as stated herein, elected officers and their statutory assistants, members of town boards and commissions, volunteers, seasonal employees, and persons who provide the town with services on the contract basis are not covered by this policy.
See, I just think seasonal employees ought to be taken out of there.
agree.
Cause
Take it
it's
out.
You wanna
confusing.
include them in the policy?
Right,
Yes.
right,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be exempt.
Do you
Okay.
consider like the truck drivers we get until March, whatever, right, seasonal or part-time?
Well, I don't
Seasonal
know.
part-time. That's why we need to change it, because,
Whoever defines it, I guess.
right, that's why we
I'm
should get rid
saying
of
they
it.
ought,
yeah.
seasonal employees ought to be included in the policy.
Because he has to get drug tested and alcohol.
But even furthermore, I mean, if you go deeper on that, elected officers, Alan's an elected person, so he doesn't have to obey by the personnel policy?
Nope,
Well, Alan can do what he
he's
wants.
exempt.
But the how we changed the comp time and all that, he said he doesn't want comp time no more, he wants. So how does that, I'm very confused on that, I guess. So Anita's your assistant, she doesn't have to follow the personnel policy? Then why do we need one?
Well, I mean, there's more employees than there are elected officers. And if you want to make elected officers subject to this policy, I mean, that's your decision. I mean, this is your
Everybody should-
policy.
I think everybody should.
This is
be.
yours. You can make this anything you want it to be.
Well,
But a lot of that stuff that we changed in here was stuff that you had kind of, like the comp time.
right,
You said, well, I don't really want the comp time,
Mhm.
so we took it away.
but the comp time didn't matter to him anyways if he wasn't.
I guess we didn't notice that until tonight. Well, if we're all subject to this, we've had select boards in the past that have come impaired to these meetings, what would
Yeah.
we do?
Send 'em
Pick
home.
them out?
Yes.
We've had people come
Well, we
under
don't
the
need more.
influence.
I mean, I don't know, that
could've
seems
used
really,
one
it
today,
seems
but I
really
didn't.
crazy to me that, I mean, the only 2 or 3 people that work in here are elected people and their assistants.
Well, he's elected, you're elected, no, you're not.
I mean, you can make everybody subject to this policy if that's what you want. This is
think we
your
should.
policy.
I just don't see why we shouldn't. They're all considered employees, I mean,
Well, that means subject to the entire policy, not just, that's everything in the policy.
well, so like you just said, under drug and alcohol use, reporting
I
to
wish
work
we'd had it in the back of the day.
or working under the influence of alcohol and drugs is strictly prohibited, so if I came in here and, I'm gonna pick on you, Anita, but if you're in there drunk, talking to people, I could say, well, you need to go home, I mean, you're drunk, you can go, no, I don't have to,
Yeah.
because
But
this
has-
doesn't pertain to her.
Has happened before. This is not something that has not happened here in this
Oh.
very room.
When I read that, I thought it was stating the people that it covers.
No, it's exempt.
Think
Yeah.
about your volunteer fire department, your volunteer ambulance.
Well, they aren't under that rule.
They're
Yeah,
exempt from it,
volunteers are
they're
in there too,
volunteers,
they all
they're
should be
exempt.
under that.
Well, they would be as
Ambulance has its own
part-time
set of
employees.
They're part-time employees.
Yeah, they
though.
do, but I'm just
They're
saying.
But they're
part-time.
volunteers.
They're not
Still classified
elected.
volunteer according to the things
But if you
that the
wanna
state
change
law.
that language to just
Everybody,
everybody,
I
That's
would
up
say
to you.
Oh, I
everybody.
think we should.
Say
I
everybody, but it also detail it down through.
I think that we definitely need to change that.
Yeah, just take out the
Because it
exempt.
applies to all
It applies
full-time
to
and
all.
part-time employees of town of Richford.
Okay, I
You
would
don't
say
need to
then, if we're
accept.
gonna do that, let's read it again, because we're gonna vote on the other one next week anyway. Let's all read it again to make sure that we all wanna adhere to everything in that policy.
So let's just put a little star next to that one.
Okay.
We know Alan's gonna maybe change the
I don't
wording. We'll
drink, but-
reread it. When I read that, I guess I had to read it like 3 times when I was sitting here to understand. I was
Right,
missing
if it's
the
confusing,
except-
we should change it. Anything
yeah.
confusing, we should change.
All right, I'm reading it again.
Okay, just make sure you wanna adhere to everything on there.
If you're still confused, have a beer.
Right.
Don't come to a meeting. Right. We already recognized the
I got
guests.
one quick other thing for other business. I am just going to, all I'm doing is just gonna pass this around. Everyone bring that home and read it too.
It's your homework, Chuck.
That's your homework
Okay.
job. And then take this one and read that
I
one.
never did any homework at school.
Never too late to start.
And another one?
And I do have one more email. I'm gonna pass that one
I
around,
hope
bring
this is
that one
from
home
Joe.
and read it. And then, so the last one I passed around, it's from Sharon Fagard, she's our rep. So she would like to, sometime this summer, so she says the Vermont Attorney General T.J. Donovan would like to visit Richford this summer to gather information from citizens so he can better understand the issues impacting the town. At this time, we were looking at a week of June 24th through July 8th. Anyway, so that's what, I had contacted Sharon like maybe a month or so ago and just told her like, if we could get someone from Montpelier to come up here and maybe give us a little bit of time, see what we may or could change, could do, and so that's what she suggested. I think if she's willing to do that and help us, that we ought to try to accommodate her.
She suggested the pedal race would be.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that that's
I'm not either.
the best way to meet with him, but even if it was a couple hours in this room or
Invite people if they wanted to come, we can make it.
and exactly upstairs
Yeah.
if we could
People
kind
wanna
of.
even come and go and talk to them, not just have a meeting, but just visit and.
She doesn't even really know how long he would be able to come for. She said she's more or less been talking back and forth
Mhm.
with his assistant.
What we need to do is identify some issues before he gets here that we really wanna talk to him about, not just everything that we think of, but.
Well, her issue that she thought maybe he could be helpful with, because I was hoping maybe she would tell me she could get the governor to come talk to us, but
Yeah. well,
she said it's
he
not,
might.
it's a possibility,
He
but,
might,
just, the poverty,
yeah.
the poverty being sent to Richford, like, oh, go live in Richford.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's places for you to rent up in Richford, and she says maybe the Attorney General might be the one who could.
Could be.
She explained that to him, like,
Mhm.
the sex offenders that get sent here, the people that we don't want here, and she said that he could help,
Okay.
so.
I wanna talk to you about all the talk there was at that police meeting about sex offenders. And I think you should look and see what actually we have for sex offenders on
Statistics.
you can get it right online. And I want you to look at some of the people on there and realize that you're talking about everybody on that list. That's all I have to say, not just some. You're talking about everybody you're gonna see on that list. I don't know if you're getting my gist or not, I'm not gonna,
Well, I'm not saying I'm talking about everybody
No,
on
no,
that
I'm-
list,
no,
but
I'm just saying-
I'm saying that there's people that live in Richford that if we all can't agree that our town would be better if they weren't here,
Okay,
then
I get
I'd say
that.
that we're sticking up for them.
I get that, but I want you to look at the whole list.
I don't need to look at the list. This is coming from Sharon. She's the one that
Okay,
said.
okay, but we need to talk later, because I'm not gonna say it out loud, but there'll be a lot of people that have a problem.
If you don't say
Sending
it out
one
loud,
away.
he won't hear you.
Okay, well, we'll talk later, because I don't think you're getting where I'm
Well,
going.
if you're insinuating I'm targeting sex offenders,
No, I'm not. No, I'm
targeting
not.
sex offenders.
No,
No, you're not getting
But
any
I'm targeting that
Certain people.
there's people in Richford
Who are
that if we
longtime
ever
Richford
want to
residents.
make Richford a better place, if you want to get in a truck with me after, I can ride around town and I'll point at some houses.
Thank you, that, yeah, I'd love to
and
do
say,
that, Andy.
You know, if we could.
That's
clean
my
up.
idea. No, I'm not even saying that, you're doing the, I'm gonna talk to you later. 'cause
My idea is,
I
I took,
get you.
Clean things up and take
I
people
ran
out.
for this position because I want to benefit Richford and make Richford a better place. If we can't clean up the streets of Richford, the face of Richford is never going to be a better place. And I went to her. She has more power than any of us have. She's our representative for our town, and she wants no more than to help clean up
I know
Richford.
she does.
So I feel if maybe it's a stepping stone to something. We got to try something.
It's worth a try.
Wow, yeah. I mean, she goes to Montpelier 4 days a week, and she has meetings down there every single day. She has a lot more connections with good
State
people
than we
than we do,
Oh.
Yeah.
and she's willing to help us. I'm gonna take her up on it.
Yep.
If nobody else wants to.
No, I didn't say that at all. No, you'll get me when I talk to you.
Okay, who's next?
Executive session.
Yeah.
Make a motion to go to executive session. Yep. I knew that's what you were talking about.
We all done other business?
When are you
I
guys
need a
gonna
second.
try to make a decision on the ambulance position?
In a minute.
5 minutes.
Well, I think it'll take us longer than that probably, but
That's when we're starting.
that's when we're starting.
I need someone to second.
Second, I'll second.
All
Who
those
was
in
the
favor
first?
say aye.
Sherry was first, I'm second.
All right, I'm sorry, my mind's a little bit,
Susan,
At 10, 14, 13.
14, 13.
I made the motion to come out at 10:13. Sherry seconded it.
Sure, why not? I second it.
Sherry, imagine that. They went in and they went out.
That's 10, 12 or whatever. What do you want? I'm kidding.
Hear the
I'm
answer to
kidding.
this.
Oh, you didn't hear it? No.
I heard some of it, I wanna hear, I'd like to hear the whole thing from
Oh.
you guys. I heard bits and pieces, because I was in his office,
Whose office?
Eric's.
Oh. Were you listening at the door?
No.
Oh,
Listening through the vent.
kidding. The vent, yeah.
You don't have vents.
There
for
is a
days.
spot upstairs where you can hear everything that happens in this room.
Really?
There
Let's
is?
go find
You
it.
know that. Remember
I
back in
don't.
the day, yes, you,
Where's the vent?
there was a spot there that you could hear.
Next time I'm just gonna dial my number, leave my phone in here, go in his office and
That's
listen.
that's a good idea, Joey.
It's probably right around that
It was somewhere around the stage, because
Yeah, there's
somebody
that
told
area
us
where that
that.
brickwork.
Okay, you got it?
I don't think that's very tight, what do you think?
You good?
Jail.
Yeah, we're waiting on the.
As a result of.
Okay, as a
executive-
result of executive session, we're gonna hire Anita to manage the ambulance service.
That's all we really need.
And we're gonna have Josh be
Team leader.
her team leader, help her on
Operations.
operations. Good way to word it.
Can I ask questions? Can we? can I
Wait
have-
till we're done. Well, I don't know, it's up
Can
to
I have a
you.
little bit of private time, or do you want this on camera?
They haven't,
It's gotta be
Oh,
on
it has to be
camera.
on camera.
they haven't
Because,
closed the motion or
sorry.
carried it through yet.
Yeah, we should make it, no, it's not an equal position.
No.
I'd like a little clarification.
But we still need to vote on
Right,
that, correct?
right.
Yes.
But there, it is open for discussion, and
Right.
this is when you would discuss it.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about discussing it, but
Okay.
do you wanna finish? We need to vote on it. Well, you made we made
Right.
a motion.
Right. Usually it's motion, second, discussion, vote.
Right, but you made the motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
Now there's discussion.
Now there's discussion.
Can I ask questions?
Yeah. But I had to get that part of it done
Right,
first.
right.
I was waiting.
So, what does it entail to Josh being team leader / operations? Because this is gonna explain to what I do next. And
I'm pretty much thinking you're still gonna do the same things that you're doing right now.
but there's a catch to this. Is he my boss?
No.
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 Do I have to answer to him at all?
Yes.
With some
Okay.
pieces.
Like,
Like filling the ambulance when we need to replace things in the ambulance, those kinds
He
of
would
things.
see the.
I
whether
take care of all
they're-
that already.
Yeah, I
I got
know.
my own key to the supplier and I do all that myself.
Right,
So
so
there'll be
he's
no
basically,
difference.
he's gonna be just double checking and he's gonna be bringing it to Anita and Anita's gonna be dealing with the other stuff. Anita's gonna be the one dealing with any issues.
Joey, say.
She's the boss.
Joey.
Why don't you just say what you wanna say and then we'll say,
Because I'd like to do it without everybody around. I'd like to be able to speak freely and under like a personnel type discussion. If we could. I would really like not it on camera, so it would make a lot of hard feelings at the ambulance, I think, if I say
I
what I
think
want to
You're
say.
right.
that's a good idea, that's right.
That's why I'm.
Well, we're gonna do this, so why don't we vote on it and then
We'll talk with you.
we can talk after, is that all right? Because
I'm fine with that.
I don't think he's gonna make us change our mind.
Right.
No, I'm,
Okay, then let's vote and.
yeah.
I vote aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I'll make a motion to go in executive session, because we are gonna talk, we have other things in executive session as well.
Yes.
So it'll be personnel, it's all personnel, actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
if it's,
it is.
if it's personnel,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
we can go into executive
Yeah.
session
Yeah,
and
that's
talk
what we're
about
doing.
it.
Yeah.
And we will probably not make a decision, so if you wanted to.
Right.
Yeah, we don't, we
Yeah.
should be good with the camera after this, because we're not making
Making
any
any
more
decisions.
decisions or votes or anything.
Right.
Um,
We're just gonna discuss a few things that we have to do. So I made the motion, executive session, 10,
I'll second it.
10, 17.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.